Hello, so welcome to the next square of the 50 stitches crochet along, and this week we're making the triad stitch. So the triads are made of 3 loops of yarn all coming together at the top to make this lovely stitch. It's a double-sided stitch and it's just got a lovely look about it. So how do we make it? So for this stitch we're going to use a 3.5mm hook, and we're going to start by making a foundation chain of 31. Okay, so remember your turning chain counts as your first stitch, and your next stitch you're going to make in the 3rd chain from your hook, and it's going to be a single crochet, and you're going to single crochet in every stitch to the end. So including that turning chain you've got 30 stitches. So at the end of this row I'm going to switch colour and bring in this lovely green. Oops. Sorry, just got caught there. There we go. And I'm just going to join that in there. So each row of triads is separated by a row of single crochet. So you can change colours any way you want in this, it's entirely up to you. Just pull that down. Behave. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1, and then in that first stitch I'm going to make the alternate turning chain. It's going on here. 1. There we go. Misbehaving yarn today. Okay, and remember this counts as your first stitch. So I'm just going to pop a stitch marker in there. Just move that light a bit. Okay, so I've had to modify this a little bit just to get our stitch count, but here we go. So I'm going to yarn over into the same stitch as your turning chain. You're going to pull up a loop, then yarn over, and in the next stitch pull up a loop, yarn over, and in the next stitch pull up a loop. Okay. So you should have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to yarn over and pull through 6 of the loops, leaving 2 on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through the last 2. And there is your first triad stitch. So it's made over 3 stitches, all just loops pulled up, and we bring them together with those pulling through those last 2 loops. And you're going to chain 1. Now the next triad starts in the stitch that you finished the last one. So the start and finish of your triad will always be in the same stitch as the one before and the one next. Okay, so just yarn over and into the same stitch as you finished the last one, pull up a loop, yarn over, in the next stitch pull up a loop, then yarn over, and the next stitch yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 6 of your loops, which will leave 2 on your hook, then yarn over and pull through the last 2. There we go, nice and simple. Then chain 1. And this is the pattern I'm going to do all the way down. So yarn over into the same stitch as the last one finished, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Pull through 6 of the 7 loops on your hook, which will leave you with 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Some more yarn, and then chain 1. And we're going to do this all the way down the row. So although it's made over 3 stitches, because you're using the first and last stitch twice, the triad stitch that comes before and after, it's actually only made over 2 stitches. So the stitch is made in multiples of 2. 2, 3, oops, no, 1 loop too many there. Going back here. There we go. But it's a nice, easy rhythm to get into. It's a nice looking stitch for something that's so fairly simple. There we go. I think it looks a bit like hula skirts, don't you? Those grass skirts. Anyways. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through 6 of the 7 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. And chain 1. Yarn over into the next stitch, over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull up the next loop, yarn over, and pull up another. And chain 1. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up another one, and number 3. So just pull them as high as your starting chain, so they'll be nice and even. We're going across there, and chain 1 after every loop, every triad. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through, okay, so almost at the end of the row, and chain 1. So if you wanted to do this stitch for a longer pattern, you would need to do it in multiples of 2 plus 1. 1, 2, and 3. The modification that I've done that I mentioned at the beginning is actually beginning here. So normally you would do a chain 1 and start your first triad and the next stitch across, so it wouldn't be in the same as your turning chain. We'd actually start in the second stitch with a chain 1 after your turning chain and then start the next triad. But I've just had to knock that out so we can get our stitch count right. But if you want to do it for another pattern, that's how you would. 1, 2, and 3. So almost at the end of the row. Chain 1, same stitch as the next triad. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay, chain 1, last triad. 1, 2, and 3. So we've got the 1 stitch left, which is the top of the turning chain from row 1. going to chain one, and the last stitch we're going to double crochet. Come on, hook. Give me a second. The only problem with doing it in the turning chain is it's a bit awkward to get through. There we go. And double crochet. And I'm going to change colour back to our original green. Where did I put my scissors? 1 second. There's always something that then you always forget. Managed to place out of reach. There we go. Right, so I'm going to cut that first colour off. Oh, I've got a needle with it. And we can rejoin here. There we go. And I'm going to turn, chain one, and in the first stitch going to single crochet. So that counts as your first stitch. Pop a stitch marker in there. Just give those a tug tight. Okay, so in the chain ones, we're just going to single crochet around the chain and then just single crochet into the top of every triad. So around the chain into the top of the triad and just single crochet all the way across. There you go. So I just bring the original back in here. So every row of triads is alternated with a row of single crochet. Okay. So where you change colours is entirely up to you. You could do this in a single colour if you wanted. So beginning of every triad row is the alternate turning chain and ends with a double crochet. And then the single crochet rows is just single crochet all the way across. In the chain ones you just single crochet around the chain and then into the top of every triad. It's a lovely double-sided stitch. Right, so finishing it off. There's 15 rows in total. You'll start and end with a row of single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of triads and 8 rows of single crochet. For the border, it's 1 single crochet in each stitch across the top and bottom. For the sides, you're going to do 2 single crochet in the size of row 1, and then in every other single crochet row it's 1 single crochet. In the size of each triad row it's 3 single crochet. Add an extra stitch in the corners for the turn, and that is your triad square. So I hope you enjoy that. As always, please do come to the Facebook group, show us your finished squares. If you have any questions, please ask, and you should always get an answer. And I will see you next time for the next square. Bye for now.